Hello, and everyone, welcome to Global Morning. Here on Global Television, we're live in Abuja, Nigeria's capital. I am Uyi Agmofwebe.
And I'm Ramsey Enoch. I will many thanks for joining us on.
Abduction is the appropriate word. I understand that there are schools that have not the appropriate word. I understand that there are schools that have not been shut down on government's directive. There are states that have categorically said, look, we've got to shut down these specific schools. Even though we hear Zamfara State is not doing that, Zamfara State instead is saying we have provided logistics, made resources available, we've deployed the of any intrusion by bandits or any of these criminal elements. But again, these are issues that are developing, and every right-thinking Nigerian everywhere in the world is naturally concerned.
Yes, I think it's a welcome development for Kebbi State. I want to congratulate the governor of Kebbi State, and of course, one of my mothers who was she's from Kebbi State, of course, and she was so worried when that incident took place, owing to the fact that, number one, they said the audio of the bandits going on bike, and she was so worried about the situation. How on earth would this have happened during the broad daylight?
In our very lifetime.
You know, and she has been praying about it. So I know she will be happy wherever she is right now, if she can hear our voice.
Right.
But then something came to my mind when you were talking about that. How I wish we can turn back the hands of time and have the same thing happen for the Chibok girls. You know, this is still in the north, you know, that of the Chibok girls. It just like a joke. A lot of promises were made. I don't know, it wasn't this administration that made that promise.
Right.
But when this Chibok
but it was government.
It was government that made that promise. But then, up till now, a few of them were released, but we still have some in captivity or till now.
More than 11 years down the line.
More than 11 years down the line. And that speaks volume. But I think the release of the KB schoolgirls, it's a welcome development for me. Then sometimes you want to think outside the box to say, well, can we now say that our military, has put up a different tactics? This release is sharp. For me, is sharp. And of course, a lot of people have gone through different kinds of trauma as a result of this. But if these girls can be released, then every other person in captivity, to the Kwara girl, the people abducted in Kwara State, Kebbi State, Katsina State, and in fact, everyone, North Central, everyone that is in captivity at the moment, I won't say there is hope, because I think something new is up. Right. I don't know the reason, but then we have new service chiefs. All right, we have a claim by the United States of America calling Nigeria a country of particular concern because of terrorism. That could be a wake-up call to then maybe other factors put together. Maybe our intelligence gathering have increased, our capacity has increased, and this happened. We are expecting the government to do more. Please, they should look into the story of the Chibok girls and see what they can do, as many of them that are still alive should be reunited with their families after rehabilitation. I know even these ones that have gone to captivity and been rescued will still need to go through some certain form of rehabilitation, you know, to get their psyche corrected. You know what it means for you to be in captivity for even 2 days, not to talk about this number of days. So I want to say congratulations to the government and our military and every other person that has contributed to the release of these KB schoolgirls.
Right, quite an intelligent way to put it. Let's take a quick break, everyone, just to remind you as well that one angle to this conversation this morning on the show is to also look at the political variable driving insecurity in Nigeria. We'll bring you all of that after this break. Do stay with us. We've looked at time and again several of the factors driving insecurity in Nigeria. Yesterday, for example, my colleague Kikelomo Okere took out time and looking at the factors around funding, all right, and supply of essentials, vitals to these criminals. How does it work? What are the channels? Who are those behind it? These are all systemic sort of, if you like, infrastructure. But then there is also the political strand to the conversation. It will appear you can't divorce or extricate politics from banditry, from insurgency, from kidnapping and all of that, because whether you like it or not, first of all, when it's that election cycle and campaign kicks in, you see politicians talking about security issues, how they're going to deal with it, guarantee security of lives and property and what have you. But then they get into office, it becomes more of a political conversation between the incumbents, I mean the government of the day, and the opposition. And then you're wondering, what exactly should be the focus? Is it about the politics of it or what the real issues are? For example, once these kidnappings, these abductions happened, first in Kebbi and then next in Niger State, we saw people like former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, who, by the way, has now officially moved to the ADC, also lambast the government, all right? They say, look, the government has not moved fast enough. The government has not done what it should have done. If the government had done that, we wouldn't be where we are today and things like that. Of course, as usual, you see the media handlers of the president, those in the presidency, also replying or responding and reacting and all of that. And you see all of that causing distraction in the middle of it. But here's the point. Insecurity has been established to have its own economic angle. It has been established to have its political leg as well. Of course, you can remove the social element in it.
Yes, I think Atiku was in PDP. Insurgency started during the PDP administration.
Right.
And
at least it became rife within that time.
Within that time.
That's right.
Then, because of the kind of attention that was given to it, made it grew. Some persons allegedly watered it, and it grew to what it is today.
In the name of politics.
In the name of politics. Now, I don't know what any other government would have done differently, because Nigerians at this point, to an extent, there is a measure with which statements coming from politicians is being taken seriously. All right, it's been taken serious, as a matter of fact. And this is the reason. Because when you are outside, it's just like a spectator watching a football match. Will say, well, he would have done it like this. He would have done it like this. But put the person in the field. The person may not even be able to kick the ball for the next 30, 20 minutes. All right? It is easier when you are outside the pitch. What am I trying to say? Atiku Abubakar, though in every criticism, there is something to take away. So if you're criticizing a particular government, make the criticism constructive. Nigerians can see reason to it. But for politicians who have been tested and their level of being trusted is 1/2, you know what that means? All right? If they make a statement, Nigerians will need to sit back, digest that statement, and see what they really meant. Because sometimes they speak from one side of the mouth and different thing is happening from the other side. But as it is, I think if you want to look at what he has said, there is a level, okay, of, should I say, fact, or maybe true to what he has said, as a matter of fact. But if he was in government, would he have done anything?
What would he do differently?
Differently. That's the question Nigerians are asking. Because we keep hearing this thing. Like I said, this banditry, this insurgency didn't start just now. If it was stopped, whether political undertone or whatever, if you are in power, you are in power. If it was stopped then, it wouldn't have escalated to where it is now. All right? Even if you're not in power, and you keep hammering on this. Some people, it's because of attention, the way some people were hammering on this issue. that the thing is getting attention from other parts of the world right now. So if it is that maybe when they were in power, if they were saying, well, this thing needs to be stopped and give it the full attention, we won't be where we are today. All right. So I think he's an opposition. Right. Whatever he say right now will be looked at as a statement from an opposition, as a matter of fact. But then one thing I'll always say, you know, if you are in power, if you're in a leadership position and you're being criticized, it is for you to do better.
Right.
It is meant for you to go back to the drawing board and do some little check and balancing so that you will know the next way forward. I think that's what it means.
All right, so that's what it means. So it means President Bola Tinubu and indeed the APC-led federal government must sieve through every reaction coming out of the opposition camp and look at what's authentic about it, what can benefit the larger majority of Nigerians, and of course get to work with such piece of information. We're taking a quick break shortly. We'll join Ramsey as he brings us motivation on the show. Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Very good evening and welcome to another exciting edition of Big Talk. Tonight on the program,
As always, it's a pleasure to have you join us here on Global Morning. I am Uyi Alpo.
You know how we do it on Social Post Extra, bringing you all the...
On the desk this evening, we have very topical issues to discuss, and of course...
Welcome to your parliamentary program, The Parliament.
Peaceful and joyful home doesn't happen by chance. It is built on...
Men can rise beyond traditional boundaries to claim their rightful place as
a numerous committee, about more than 12 committees.
Festival is a program that comes to you once in a week at about this time where we look into issues and discuss them. It gives you the opportunity to
rule news in United
Welcome
Nigeria.
To Entertainment Circle. And trust me, today you're about to get entertained.
Hello everyone and welcome to the program Talk Sports here on Global Television.
Turn Up Zone is that platform where we bring young and talented artists.
Stay tuned, stay inspired, stay with Global Television on DSTV channel 365, on Star Times channel 276.
Every wealthy man you see today, they started thinking about it, because as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. What are you thinking about? How are you seeing yourself right now? What is on your mind? What have you conceived in your heart so far? But I want you to know that everyone on earth is clamoring for success. I've never seen a man who is ever satisfied with what they have. That's why you see people acquiring wealth. You know, they have wealth, but they keep acquiring wealth. You know, no one is ever satisfied to say, well, what I have is enough. I've not sinned. Maybe, probably you may have sinned. Let me tell you that wealth begins in the mind. This is Wealth and Success Tips. My name is Ramsey Enoch Agbo, and of course, I'd like you to know that wealth isn't just money. Some people, when you talk about wealth, the first thing that comes to their mind is money, but it is the mentality, all right? Not just the money, it is the mentality. What can you convert to money? Your mentality. Some people have already settled it in their mind that they can never be rich. They will never be wealthy. Some people have already conditioned their mind that they will never amount to anything. Now, show me a man who thinks abundance, and I will also show you a man who attracts it. What did I say? I want to take that again. Show me a man who thinks abundance, and I will show you a man, all right, who attracts abundance. If you think abundance, you attract abundance. And that's the reason I tell people everywhere I go, whatever you do, you need to think positive. Show me a person trapped by fear, and I will show you someone that wealth avoids. Do you know that wealth can avoid people? There are a lot of people pursuing money today that money is busy running away from them because in their mind, they just want to be like that man. They want to be like that woman. They want to have a luxurious life. But what are the necessary things that you need to do? You see, poverty doesn't begin in the pocket. It's not in your pocket. Oh. Poverty does not begin in the pocket. It begins in the mind. The real difference between the wealthy and the struggling isn't opportunity. Some will tell you, I don't have the opportunity. Well, some people have the opportunity. They were born with golden spoon. Stop complaining. That is not what the problem is. It is the outlook, your mentality, your thinking. The wealthy see solution where others see struggles. There was in one episode where I was talking about the fact that opportunity come dressed like work. If you avoid work in that instance, you have avoided that opportunity and it passes you by. Don't you ever say, I can't afford it. All right? Some will tell you, how can I afford it? Some people turn obstacle into openings and ideas into income. So train your mind to think upward. That's the real thing that you need to do. Speak positively. Surround yourself with people who stretch your thinking, not people who drain your thinking. How would you ever be in the company of vultures and you want to become an eagle? You want to be like an eagle, but you are in the company of vultures. That is a wrong identity. That is a wrong identity. Not those who shrink your vision. Avoid them. Some people will even tell you why. Oh, you too, you are thinking of being a wealthy person, a successful person. They will even laugh at you. But then you need to avoid people like that. And that takes me to mentorship. How would you ever go after someone to mentor you and that person is going a different direction? The person's vision is not aligning with your vision and you are calling that person your mentor. That person will end up being your tormentor, not your mentor. So what do you have to do? You need to follow people who are going the same direction with you. Money follows mindset. In case you don't know, let me tell you. For as many that want to have money, money follow mindset. What's your mindset? What are you thinking about money? Some people will tell you money is the root of all evil. No. Don't misquote the holy book. The love of money is the root of all evil, not money itself. The love of money is the root of all evils, of evil, not money itself. So if your mind is rich in purpose, your life will be rich in results. So number one thing that you need to think, your mentality needs to tell you, is that your mind needs to be rich in purpose. Are you purposeful? Do you have a dream? Do you have a vision? Do you have something you want to become in the next 5-10 years? Have you started working towards it from now? Then be rest assured that your life will be rich in result because you have a rich purpose. Every rich purpose and vision give birth to a rich result in time to come. You were not created to merely survive. A lot of people have survivor mentality. I am contented with where I am, or at least I can afford 2 square meals. Who told you that? The people who are affording 3 square meals and even eating delicious balanced diet in between meals, they are not more than you. But don't create the mentality of merely surviving. The survivor mentality is not meant for you because you are designed to multiply. You are designed to dominate. You are designed to subdue. Don't wait for wealth to find you. Find wealth. Locate it. Become the kind of person that wealth is drawn to. Because true riches, as a matter of fact, don't start in your hands. They start in your head. It doesn't start in your hand, but in your head. Do you get what I said? The true riches doesn't start in your hand. It starts in the head. There are people that when they were giving birth to, they already made up their mind right from when they were growing. If you doubt what I'm saying, ask the creative people, the innovators, people who innovate things for others to use. Some people are just sitting down. They are not thinking of what they will innovate for others, what their creativity will give birth to for others to use. They are sitting down, busy waiting for other people's creativity and innovation to make use of it. No, your riches starts from your head first before it enters your hand. So your mentality matters so much. How would you on earth be on the journey of destiny and you don't know where you are heading? You are just following everybody. Let me speak to people who are jack of all trade and they think they can be master of all. No. I was speaking to someone earlier today and we're talking about the fact that you can major in a particular thing, all right, specialize in one thing, but have idea of other things. Have area of specialty. Take for instance, you're applying for a remote job, for instance, for those of you who have applied for remote jobs or maybe something to put money on your table, maybe on the internet or with a company or maybe an entrepreneur. The first thing they will ask you is your experience. What can you do? What can you offer? So as it is right now, you need to be creative mentally before you can be creative physically. I end by saying what you need to do is to know that true riches don't start from your hand, but it starts from your head. If your head is empty, your hand will be bound to be empty also. It's not all about what is in your hand, but what is in your head. Thank you very much. I want to wish you all the best. You are a success in motion. Don't stop until you succeed. Bye-bye for now.
To look at the papers for you now, everyone. Quite well, a number of them this morning. Incidentally, we're beginning with the Punch newspaper. Just immediately beneath the nameplate, but let's start with the one I just sent it, actually, with two pictures. One with a picture of the Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, and the other is that of the factional chairman of the People's Democratic Party. Says Wike bloc asks court to nullify PDP convention. And just this morning, somebody was curious and asking, why is Wike so keen on ensuring that that convention that was held in Ibadan, your state, is nullified? Well, like I said, the headline has pictures of Nyesom Wike and Turaki SAN, factional chairman of the PDP. Kidnapping spree escalates as federal government negotiates hostages' freedom. And then there's a writer here that says, 18 mothers, children, others abducted in fresh Kano Kwara raids. Kebbi girls freed. Federal government defense negotiations with bandits. What are the terms of these negotiations? Who is negotiating? Is it the federal government? Is it the states themselves? Because we're seeing states do this recently, in recent years. Who exactly is negotiating? And what are the implications of these negotiations? Is this something that will blow up in our face someday soon? Because we have to be very cautious such that we don't create three problems in a bid to solve one. Sanwo-Olu presents 4.2 trillion naira 2026 Lagos budget. The budget of the national, as they call it, the commercial nerve of Nigeria has increased steadily. In 2020, when just before we had the NSAS issue, it was something in the neighborhood of 2 trillion. Now it has a little more than doubled, so it continues to go up. Incidentally, this is the fifth largest economy in Africa, hoping to become the third by 2030. So the ambition is clear, but the work is already being done, one block at a time. CCB plans digital assets declaration to curb corruption. Okay, so there won't be the issue of hard copy forms. I wrote it, no, I didn't write it. You struck it out, no, I cancelled it, and all of that. So let's go digital. It's 2025, people. 2027, I will stop rigging, vote buying, Amokwiton vows. Ramsey, that's quite a tall order. It's audacious to say. This is the new, newly appointed chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor George Amokwiton, saying that he would do two things. Big goals, really. He would stop rigging, he will stop vote buying.
These are these are part of the major, incidences that you can say this election is not free and fair. These are the things that can make you
right. These two factors.
These two factors, they are basic. All right. Vote buying, especially the baba of all, which is rigging. All right.
And vote buying happens to be sort of a stop point in that process of rigging.
In that process of rigging, So I think if he can do that, it will go a long way. One of the mandates given to him by the president was to ensure that we have a free and fair election in Nigeria. And he has vowed to do the same. After the Anambra election, people said so many things. But at least a lot of people gave it to him to an extent, even though we've not seen an election in Nigeria that everyone has applauded to say this was free and fair, because there must be oppositions, of course, and opposition parties don't take defeat easily in this part of the world. But then if he is saying this, Nigerians, the media, civil society organizations will hold him to it when it's time, especially when there are evidences. Remember, he's a son and a professor. So with all of this put together, he would want to protect his integrity, maybe to an extent, and do that. But then, can he do it alone? He will need the cooperation of so many people to do this, including politicians.
Interesting, which means that political parties themselves must be carried along in this regard. Ramsey just put out very succinctly there for us. All right, let's look at the last headline from the Punch newspaper today. Bottom right, front page still. It says 7-year single term will stabilize governance. That's a LASU professor. Professor from Lagos State University saying that 7-year single term will stabilize governance. The other time, just at the twilight of the administration of former President Goodluck Jonathan, there had also been the theory that a 6-year single term will do the magic, but now 7-year is also being proposed. Those are your headlines from the Punch today. Read up those details as we move on to the Guardian newspaper.
All right, let's quickly move to the Guardian newspaper this morning, where we have a couple of headlines. And I think from the stories you took, there are some stories that are very punchy right there. But time will not allow us to go back to it. Let's just hold to that statement from our movie and move on to the Guardian newspaper and see how we will be guarded by the Guardian newspaper this morning. Beginning from the top of the paper, we have Dangote partners Honeywell International on refinery expansion. A 1.4 million barrel per day 2028 target. That's beautiful. Rising insecurity may push 35 million Nigerians into severe hunger in 2026. This statement is attributed to the United Nations. It's a warning, as a matter of fact. It's a warning coming from the United Nations. And to be forewarned, it means a lot. And this is coming from United Nations, meaning they didn't just come out to speak because they want Nigerians to be hungry, but for the federal government to put some measures in place. All right, it's either you tackle insecurity completely, or you do something about it to avert this situation. INEC vows crackdown on election rigging, still coming from Amupitan. We already talked about that. Wike orders comprehensive security reinforcement across Abuja. Very important, very, very important. Sani warns northern leaders against playing politics with insecurity. If you want to know who this Sani is, pick a copy of the Guardian newspaper, and the details is on page 4. The federal government denies banning open grazing, confirms transition to ranching. All right, this one says federal government unveils online classes for schools. Over 1.2 million teacher shortage. We have shortage of teachers. So the federal government is unveiling online classes for schools. How technologically inclined are we? Who are going to be the teachers? All right. Then a lot of questions will need to be asked. The students, what's going to be the format? In fact, go to Open University right now and you see how a lot of people are struggling because this is a university that you don't have to interface with all your lecturers all the time. So if we want to extend this to the secondary schools, the primary schools, then a lot needs to be done technologically. We need to embrace ICT the more. I don't know.
It's quite interesting. Okay, Ramsey, let's break it down real quick within the short time that we have, right? This thing is doable. First of all, let's establish that. This thing is doable. This thing is possible, can be done by a country as blessed, as endowed, as full of wise, intelligent, innovative, creative, resourceful people as Nigeria. The question is, first of all, do we have a plan in place? All of this is a goal, ultimately. Just have a goal. Just have an ambition. But you have a plan to pursue it. You must have a plan of action, right? You must have a strategy in place to do this. You must have your projections, short-term, long-term, medium-term. You must have some sort of KPIs in place, key performance indicators. How do you even measure progress? You must have a model. Which model are you following? Is it because you're seeing it done in Switzerland? Is it because you saw it done in Sweden? Is it because somebody from Australia came to propose it? Whose model are you following? Look, this conversation is pretty much like when you talk about diversifying Nigeria's economy. The question you're asking yourself is, diversifying from what model to what model? In 2015, I did a special report on economic diversification. Many people talked about agriculture. Let's move away from oil to agriculture. When people talk like that, it looks like there's a mechanical jump from one thing to the other, from oil to agriculture. There must be a transition. How do you initiate that transition? What modalities must you put in place? What kind of thinking do you have to bring into the conversation? And then you must ask yourself, what expertise are you bringing? We're talking about technology. We were here the other time, Ramsey, just before the 2019 election, general election, that is. We're talking about electronic voting. We're talking about using different devices and gadgets and what have you. Some persons on the floor of the Nigerian Senate got up and said that there is still a challenge with internet penetration. One has to build upon the other. If you don't have widespread internet penetration, how do you intend to make this happen? Because we now live in a digital age. The internet drives many things. There are places where there is no service. We're not even talking about 5G coverage yet. That's on a different level. We are asking, is there even enough internet? Broadband is still a challenge, is still a drag in Nigeria. So have you been able to address the teething problems? At a point a few years ago, it was even Facebook that said, look, we have a long-term thinking to spread internet across Africa. That was a company in the United States thinking of how to deepen internet access in a different continent of 54 nations. So what thinking are we bringing to this? Are we just doing this by way of what my friend would call knee-jerk reaction? In other words, you're reacting because there's pressure. You're not reacting, you're not being proactive because there is need, because you're forward thinking. You're just only reacting to a situation because all of a sudden there's pressure on you, and by way of trying to react, you suddenly come up with some random idea. Because for those who are behind this, for example, if we were to put them on the show this morning to say, talk to Nigerians as to what exactly are the specifics, the 1, 2, 3 things that we've done within the first few months, the first few years, and going forward to make this happen. The question is, will they be able to present those scientific facts?
That's
empirically.
This is teacher shortage. Why do we have teacher shortage?
That's the fundamental question.
That's a fundamental question. You don't just wake up and want to react to situation just by imagination. Right. You know, it doesn't happen. Google Classroom has been in use for several years. In different countries of the world.
And it's been working.
And it's been working. How many schools in Nigeria, are using Google Classroom? That's it. This is where you can lecture students, teach students in their numbers, giving them assignment, classwork they do and submit in their numbers. But how many people are using it? Well, let's get back to the headlines and see what we have, the other headlines from the Guardian newspaper this morning before we get to the next point of call. Addison says Sanwo-Olu promises share prosperity with 4.23 trillion naira 2026 budget. And of course, CBN holds interest rate at 27% as 16 banks meet recapitalization targets. Then Dizon says, the Guardian shine at James Award. And the big story, which is going to be the last, says insecurity triggers rare APC dissent in reps amid fresh Kwara Kanu attacks. Insecurity triggers rare APC dissent in reps amid fresh Kwara and Kanu attack. Those are the headlines from the Guardian newspaper this morning.
All right, thank you, Ramsey. Let's take it straight away now to the Vanguard newspaper. We begin from the headline above the nameplate, the Vanguard newspaper. It says CBN retains monetary policy rates at 27%. Again, that's on the Vanguard newspaper. Then the top right corner of it, it says Dangote, Honeywell partner to raise refinery capacity to 1.4 million barrels per day. And then next is Task Systems. Task Systems, Nigeria tech firm, celebrated in USA with Microsoft Best Partner Award. Again, there's the star headline here that says, Abductions, Tinubu orders 24-hour aerial surveillance on Kwara, Kebbi, Niger forests. Then you have about half a dozen riders with that headline. Okay, you can look them up for time factor. Okay, says 24 abducted Kebbi schoolgirls released. The picture is right there on the front page. Insecurity. Reps protest rising attacks. Galatasaray may stop Osimhen from playing in AFCON. What's the reason that could happen? Is on page 36, but then you can follow sports on Global Television to find details of that. It says Galatasaray may stop Osimhen from playing in AFCON. Sanwo-Olu presents 4.237 trillion naira budget for 2026. Nigeria's high-level insecurity worrisome. Catholic bishops, of course, that goes without saying. Those details await you on page 9. Those are your headlines from the Vanguard newspaper today. Ramsey will walk us through the Nigerian Tribune next.
All right, let's quickly go through the Nigerian Tribune and see the headlines that we have right there on the Nigerian Tribune. The Nigerian Tribune has this big headline which says, Tinubu orders aerial surveillance of Kwara, Niger, and Kebbi Forest. Right, I think we are moving the right direction gradually. Again, bandits attack Kwara community, abduct 11 residents. The state government sets up a Safer Kwara Security Committee to curtail breaches. 10 kidnapped in Kano border communities. 10 kidnapped in Kano border communities. Amotekun commences patrol of boarding schools in Ondo. The kidnap of schoolgirls is the beginning of wisdom for Ondo state right now. 24 kidnapped Kebbi schoolgirls regained freedom. That's the good news right there. Sanwo-Olu presents a 4.2 trillion naira 2026 appropriation bill to Lagos Assembly. CBN retains monetary policy rates at 27%. One rider to that story, it says MPC decision lowers banks' funding cost, expected to spur lending to SME. All right, this is coming from experts. How did HID Awolowo dialogue stakeholders call for domestication of national gender policy? And of course, some writers to that story, it says, want gender equality, women participation in policy to be addressed. This one says dialogue designed for next generation of women leaders, according to Awolowo Dosumu. Ogun Deputy Governor calls for stronger institutional support. Catholic bishops warn against rising abuse in Sharia. Hizbah operation. Kidnapping, that's the kicker. NUT threatens nationwide shutdown of schools. Those are the headlines from, of course, the Nigerian Tribune this morning.
All right, thank you, Ramsey. Incidentally, we understand that next, let's just remind you that you have to read up these details for yourself to understand the context of the news today. Global Television, as always, does not in any way contribute to these headlines or their details. We'll just bring you the headlines exactly as published by their respective publishers. Coming up next is Social Buzz with Ogochukwu Mobuna. is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and international.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Very good evening and welcome to another exciting edition of Big Talk. Tonight on the program,
As always, it's a pleasure to have you join us here on Global Morning. I am Uyi Alpo.
You know how we do it on Teacher Post Extra, bringing you all the...
On the desk this evening, we have very topical issues to discuss, and of course...
Welcome to your parliamentary program, The Parliament.
A joyful home doesn't happen by chance. It is built on...
Women can rise beyond traditional boundaries to claim their rightful place as
a numerous committee, about more than 12 committees.
Face to Face is a program that comes to you once in a week at about this time, where we look into issues and discuss them. It gives you the opportunity to
World leaders in United
Welcome
Nigeria.
to Entertainment Circle. And trust me, today you're about to get entertained.
Hello everyone and welcome to the program Talk Sports here on Global Television.
Talk Zone is that platform where we bring young and talented artists.
Stay tuned, stay inspired, stay with Global Television on DSTV channel 365, on Star Times channel 276.
Good morning, the Global Morning crew, and good morning to you, our viewers. How are you doing today? It's a beautiful morning to look at what's buzzing on the internet. It's Wednesday and anything can happen, but a lot, I must tell you, has been happening yesterday when it comes to insecurity. Everyone is talking about the insecurity in the country. And a suspected bandit has come out to boast on TikTok about kidnapping, and he says, "We have already kidnapped students in Kebbi and Niger State who will soon start kidnapping soldiers and politicians, and there's nothing the government can do about it." These videos made via TikTok, a very popular social medium, and now questions have been everywhere. What exactly is happening? We are seeing bandits and terrorists come out more often than it used to be. Come out to say things about the government and make videos concerning what's going on, and you ask yourself, how come these people are not being traced? How come no one can trace people? Because most times locations are usually on. Sometimes they even go live, on TikTok, on Instagram, and so many other things. And you start asking yourself, what exactly is going on? Well, I would like us to take a look at the video and listen to what this young man is saying. All right, maybe.
Makaranta a KB Cites. An dauki a makaranta a Neja Cites. Nan gaba sojoji za mu ringa kama muna ɗaukowa muna kai su a daji muna da dauriya. Kiba lambobin soja. Najeriya. Nan gaba za mu ɗauki gwamna. Za mu ɗauki shugaban ƙasa, za mu ɗauki sauransu. Ba ruwanmu da an kama kowa. Gwamnati ba ta yi mama maganin ku komi. Koma ma Allah ya maku maganin komi, ya share maku kukanku. Ƙato ba zai iya ba. An tashi, na gaishe ku mutanen social media. Ina maku barka da warhaka.
It's all about insecurity in the country, and I'm not alone today. I have with me Uyi Agbomofebe. Good morning, Uyi.
Good morning, Ogochukwu. So good to have you on the show.
And you too. We've been talking about insecurity in this country, and it's becoming really, it's disturbing, it's becoming worrisome. We get to hear different statements from different parts of the world. Mm-hmm. And recently, it's out that no more open grazing and all of that, which I think is one of the ways that the government is trying to use to curb insecurity. What do you think about that?
All right, first of all, I'd like to react to some of these issues. Yes, insecurity has become rife in recent years. Mm-hmm. We are glad that even the president himself, the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of our Federal Republic, also realizes that. We've seen the moves that have been made the last few days alone. We've seen the result coming out from Kebbi State. All 24 students have now been released. We're saying, as of yesterday, close to 60 of them from our neighbor here, Niger State, also released. We see many other efforts, and we also understand that much more work is going on the ground. But I also want to react to this young man who we are made to believe is a bandit or one of these criminal elements, right? What he's doing is pretty much like a pedestrian, like a child's play, even though we know there's a lot of weight in the things he says. The Nigerian troops won't have to blink an eye or beat an eyelid to run over elements like this. It's not a big deal for them. During your introduction, you talked about location and things like that. The Nigerian troops have all the technology they need to determine all of these, the location and using all of those geo elements to find where these persons are precisely within and even beyond our shores. And I'll give you an example. How is it that a phone is stolen in Abuja? The person takes it to, let's say, somewhere in Lagos or Ibadan to sell. Then the police are able to trace that phone to a specific location, find the person, track everyone else in between, in the chain, who has participated in that theft, whether you bought it or you helped to repair, unlock, or sell, or whatever it is. So, with that sort of example, like given what we have seen our troops do, you understand that this is not an issue for our military. But we just need to sustain the momentum. We need to continue to do the right thing by the Nigerian people. We need to continue to be patriotic and invest in intel gathering, using the same intel to ensure that elements like these do not embarrass us and continue to constitute nuisance in Nigeria.
Thank you so much, Uyi, for your contribution to today's topic on social pressure and global warming. For the sake of our time, we won't be stretching this, so this is where we'll close the curtain for today. I am Ogochukwu Mobnor, and stay with us as the global morning continues.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news, making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Very good evening and welcome to another exciting edition of Big Talk. Tonight on the program.
As always, it's a pleasure to have you join us here on Global Morning. I am Uyi Alpo.
You know how we do it on Teacher Post Extra, bringing you all the...
On the desk this evening, we have very topical issues to discuss. And of course...
Welcome to your parliamentary program, The Parliament.
Even a joyful home doesn't happen by chance. It is built on...
Women can rise beyond traditional boundaries to claim their rightful place as
a numerous committee, about more than 12 committees.
Face-to-Face is a program that comes to you once in a week at about this time where we look into issues and discuss them. It gives you the opportunity to...
World leaders in United
Welcome
Nigeria
to Entertainment Circle. And trust me, today you're about